I am 35 years old, tall, athletic, pretty, educated in Europe, where I live and work. I live in one country, but I work in a neighboring country where the salary is higher. I am a senior rehabilitologist in the hospital. I pay the house on credit. I was not married, no children yet. I help my family financially. Dean, my friend, is 40 years old. He is from a very wealthy family. He has a good education, works in a large company, has never been married, no children. Dean lives in a villa in a very beautiful place, which was inherited from his grandparents. He's on a roll. I would never have met him in real life. He is from a different league of life, where he happens. For people like me, the entrance is closed. The beginning of our story is tragic. He was riding a motorcycle. The sun was glaring. He was swerving. He lost control and crashed. So he was taken to our hospital with numerous fractures, where they amputated part of his leg. So I met him, you could say, at my work. Usually in a team with my colleagues, I discuss new arrivals, who from the team will take a new patient. But that day there was an emergency. Some of my colleagues were on vacation, some on sick leave, so he became my patient. The first contact was sad. He looked at one point and said that his life was over and it would be better if he crashed to death. It was important for him to talk. I listened to him, but also did my job. I had to mobilize his arms and legs. I told him that I would come tomorrow and described what was approximately waiting for him in therapy. I literally put people on their feet. A huge part of my work is motivating patients, finding strengths and focusing on them, talking. I love my job very much. I asked him a lot about where he works, how he lives, to understand what challenges it can be in his own home. For example, climbing 5 steps just to get into the house, stairs and no elevator both at home and at work, and how I can practice these moments with him. I mean, collecting anamnesis is part of my job, but as he later told me, I took an interest in his person, and from that moment on, something in him changed. He said one day that I had gotten so much information about him, and he didn't know anything about me. Nothing. And he would like to know me better. He asked me what country I was from. How did I get here? It was my first patient who was so interested in my country and me. As time went by, the swelling and bruises on his face went away. I realized that apart from being an interesting person to talk to, he was a pretty good-looking young man with good humor. I had individual therapy with him, where I had to work out a scar on my arm. There was a lot of hand contact. I was massaging the scar, moving it up and down, side to side, mobilizing my hand, and he suddenly said that he liked me and would like to ask me out. I changed my face and told him that he and I should stay where we were. I was a rehabilitator, and he was a patient. He asked me if he didn't have a chance, to which I said that work and personal life don't mix, and that as long as I was working with him, he didn't have a chance. The next day, I got a flower delivery that said he takes my breath away when I am around and touch him. I had individual therapy with him again, where he had phantom pain in his amputated leg. I used a mirror for therapy, sat very close to him, and he kissed me. I told him he did it for nothing, got up, announced that therapy was over, and walked out. Usually, when I feel patients develop sympathy for me, I give it to one of my coworkers. That's what I decided to do with him, even though I liked him. But there are rules that are best not broken. He saw it in his own way, that I don't work with him anymore. We don't work together, and now he has a chance. I was having lunch in the park in front of the hospital, and he pulled up to me and asked to take a walk. He apologized for not being able to just hold it together. thanked me for helping him and feeling better. He said he really liked me and wanted to ask me out. I responded to a part of his speech, something along the lines that it was my duty as a rehabilitator, using my knowledge to relieve pain or get back on my feet, to help patients. I declined the date and turned the conversation to neutral. Another time later, he had a prosthesis made, and my coworker called me to help her. He sought bodily contact with me, looked at me, I told him what to do, but it was as if he didn't hear or do what my colleague and I demanded. He asked to speak to me alone. That as soon as I handed him over to another colleague, his motivation dropped. He started to feel the loss of something important. In general, he said it was like I brought him back to life, and now without me he would probably be depressed or apathetic. I told him I would think about what to do with him. He ordered flowers via courier for me every week. My colleagues teased me that they were from my favorite patient. I parried that I don't have favorite patients, that a patient with public and private insurance, that a homeless person and a person with income are equal to me, and there are no favorites. That I treat all my patients well, no favorites. Then he was finally discharged, got back on his feet, walked well on his prosthesis, went back to work. And it seemed like this story should have ended, but no. One day in the work mail, I found a letter from him that he missed me and couldn't get me out of his head. I got flowers from him every week, just like before. I never took them home and left them in the common room where I and my coworkers were discussing work stuff. He reminded me that he is not my patient anymore and would like to thank me for everything and invite me to dinner. That he would be waiting for me in the car in the evening. It was just a day and time with me when I could. I was in a good mood as I had been approved for a refresher course, and I agreed. He behaved very gallantly, was well-dressed, sought body contact, tried to take my hand or touch me lightly, thanked me that my arm function had returned after the fractures, and he was generally feeling better and credit to me for that. The place where we had dinner was very special, and there was a waiting list and a year's worth of reservations. He said that a star was coming soon to give a concert, and he had 2 tickets and would like me to accompany him. I asked him who it was so I could listen to the repertoire. He said it was a surprise, which made me interested. I chatted with him that evening for a long time. The time flew by quickly. I did not immediately notice that it was so late and I had to go to work early. He hugged me and kissed me. I kissed him back and asked him to take me home because I had to work early. He didn't want to break up, neither did I, but I had to be at work early in the morning and have a job interview. Then on the weekend, I called him to go drone flying. Another weekend later, I was planning an outing to the castle and called him. Then I went to a concert with him. We sang together, danced. After the concert, we spent the night together in a hotel. He was very nervous. He didn't know whether to take off the prosthesis or stay with the prosthesis. I asked him to exhale, not to fuss, and if anything was wrong to talk to me. He was gentle and affectionate. It was a long, magical night. In the morning, he woke me up with a kiss and confessed his love. I confessed too. The relationship developed well. We traveled together, tried something, for example, a master class in clay modeling or painting with acrylics or archery. There was a lot of tenderness, romance. We read books and chatted about what we had read, went to concerts. He got a key to my house. I got a key to his villa. He raised the question that he would like to live with me and it would be better for me to move in with him, as it would be closer to work and I could rent the house. He asked me if I liked my surroundings. If I needed anything, we could go out to the store and buy it, so I would feel at home at his place. And then I met his parents and sisters. It was his birthday, and he invited his family. I still remember that day with horror. He introduced me to them as his girlfriend. I speak with an accent, and it seemed to me at first they questioned me intently. Where am I from? What kind of education? Am I in Europe legally? Where do I work? Then my father went into the study with him to discuss some business, and I was left to the mercy of the female half of the family. His mom started asking me how much. I didn't know what she was talking about. Then his middle sister told me in plain text that I was out of their league. How much money do I want, and for me to disappear from my brother's life? The younger sister was talking about her best friend, that she, the friend, was in love with Dean and it would break her heart, and everyone was talking at the same time. And I was 1 against 3. I was trying to answer Dean's mother that I don't need anything, that I work and I have a paycheck, and I just love Dean. Then it hit me that I'm with Dean because of money and he's almost disabled, and I have selfish motives. At this point, my Dean came back when his mom was already being carried away. I think the word handicapped from his mom's mouth shocked him. He told me that thanks to me he was back on his feet, back to full life, and asked them to leave and not to ruin his day. I realized that I was not very welcome in the family. That was such a turn on. He asked what was it, and what did he miss? He apologized for his family, said he loved me and we were going out with his friends for the evening. I think my body was there with him and his friends and my mind at dinner with his family. I tried to forget it. From a mother's point of view, I may not be the best match for her only eldest child. A foreigner, a person not on their level. On the other hand, I thought I had achieved a lot in the new place. I learned the language, finished my studies, passed my exams at the first time, found a job, studied, and developed further that I became a senior rehabilitator in the team. I reached a certain level, but I can't jump higher in my field. Then it was Dean's mom's birthday. I ordered flowers to be delivered to his mom for that day. Dean's mom was against me attending the celebration too. There were going to be important guests there, and I shouldn't be there. Dean called his mom, congratulated her, and said he would like to come, but since I wasn't really welcome there, he'd rather have lunch with her when he had a break at work. I felt very awkward. I told him I didn't mind if he went there alone. He stayed with me and we discussed vacations and looked at places to go. He didn't go to his sister's birthday party either. His mom was texting angrily that I was meddling in their family and causing a rift. I wanted to fall somewhere at this point. Then it was his dad's birthday. He invited us over for breakfast together. I felt sick to my stomach and nauseous, and I didn't really want to go there. I wasn't welcome there anyway. Dean's sisters didn't even say hello to me and ignored me as if I wasn't even there. My dad tried to talk, but it was all kind of strained. I went to the restroom as I almost threw up from the tense and strained atmosphere. I don't know what was going on in there while I was gone, but Dean was waiting for me under the door and told me we were leaving. I wanted to say goodbye out of politeness. He said no need to. Then he said at home that my mother had started her song again, that I was a foreigner, different mentality, not his match again, that I needed his money and to get a foothold in Europe, asking him to come to his senses and leave me. I don't know if I should have told Dean's parents that I love their son and have no selfish motives. Maybe it would have been like an excuse. But I saw the boundaries close to me then, and I didn't want to storm that door close to me. I had always dreamed of seeing the Northern Lights, and we had a ship tour in the winter. On February 14th of this year, Dean proposed to me somewhere off the coast of Norway under the Northern Lights. He informed his family that he was engaged, sent a photo. Video of the proposal, to which his mother said she would never accept me or bless this union. And she was taken to the hospital with a heart attack from this news. Dean's mom sent messages urging her son to come to his senses. The sisters didn't react in any way. His father wrote something to the effect that it was his life and choice, although he and his mother could have paid for his caregiver, and he wouldn't have needed to marry me. I have a good relationship with Dean. I love him, he loves me. We live peacefully and without arguments. Dean is texting my mom. He likes her. We are at the stage of collecting documents for the marriage, arranging the villa. Everything is good, except the relationship with his family. But I am worried about the situation with the future in-laws and sisters of my chosen one. Should I try somehow to establish relations with them? And who should make steps towards peace, me, Dean, or that side? Is it realistic to achieve neutrality? Or will they never accept me? How would you reason in this situation? Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.